that young lad on the cycle was a little silly, wasn't he? I mean, if he'd have lost control, because he wasn't that stable, if he'd have lost control, he'd have gone straight underneath my vehicle. I mean, just the stupidity of people these days. It's that moment of, are you seriously doing that? Because he was really not stable, was he? I mean, he was all over the place. I had visions of him just going straight into me, because my week started with a car accident and ended with killing a kid on a push bike. That would have been really bloody brilliant, wouldn't it? I can't believe people do that. It's just so stupid. So yeah, this happened. Well, anyway, what happened in that situation? Well, it's obvious what happened, but why did it happen? First of all, let us just say this. Everybody walked away, no significant injuries. The Zavira driver was obviously in shock. Had pains across there from where the seatbelt, obviously, you know. And yeah, so I can tell this relatively okay because no one was significantly injured, no broken bones as far as I'm aware. Now, I'm going between two farms. There's about 3 minutes between them, that's it. Going down this road, it's a 40-mile-an-hour road, and it's a relatively thin road, two-way. There's a few twists and turns, bends in it, and I do about 30. I slow down if there's larger vehicles coming, because if you meet a truck coming around one of those bends and you're going quickly, there's going to be a thump. If you meet a bus, the same kind of difference. Well, anyway, I'm trundling down this road. It's night time. Everyone's lights are on. Okay, it's damp. It's not raining. It's not foggy. It's just dark. Come down the road, and I've gone round a right bend. So the person behind can see straight down that road, going round a right bend. Now in America, if you go around a left bend, they can see straight down the opposite side of the road. I've looked in my mirror, as you do, and I've seen the light go out and come back in. There's cars coming. Now, if you're a truck driver, you have seen that manoeuvre. It probably wouldn't be over-exaggerating to say 100 times a day. You know, someone's stuck behind you and they go to look to see if there's something coming, and they dip back in. You think nothing of it. Quite literally, everyone does it. I do it when I'm stuck behind a truck. I'll have a look, no, pull back in. Everyone does it. And anyway, I carry on. Vehicles coming the other way, and out of my peripherals, I see two lights in the mirror. And there's a car coming. And it takes a moment to realise they're going for it. But there's a car coming. Now, I'm in a horrible situation of what to do. Do I speed up? Huh? Do I slam on? Well, I'm half loaded. It's heavy what I've got on. I slam on, weight goes forward onto my fifth wheel, weight comes off my steering wheel. If these two collide into my cab, there's a bank there. I was actually standing on the bank when I took the photo. There's a bank there. Could I go up the bank and go over? Yeah, I mean, you've all seen it on YouTube. A car has hit a truck seemingly relatively gently and the truck's gone, yeah? Could I jackknife? Admittedly around 30 miles an hour. That's probably not going to happen, but you don't know, depending on the impact. Yeah? And if I slam on, what happens if the Fiesta slams on? Well, to get back into the gap that they've just come from. Well, if I slammed on, the gap's disappeared. So, what do I do? And you're thinking about this constantly. The other thing is, well, if they're overtaking me, what about the car behind them? Are they going to try and overtake? So are they speeding up to follow the Fiesta through? I slam on, slam straight up my rear end. head height back of my trailer, chances are they're not going to survive. So you get all of these things kind of boom, straight to the front of your head, wallop, straight in there. And so what I did was I hit my horn. I put my hand on my horn because there's other vehicles on the road. I don't want somebody else barreling down there or whatever. I want people to try and stop. I want the Zafira to stop. I want the Fiesta to stop. I'll keep momentum. I'll be slowing down, but I'll keep momentum so that if they do that, hopefully there's a gap behind me the Fiesta can get back into. So I put my hand on my horn and I back off. And wallop, head on. Now, the rear end of the Fiesta is completely obliterated. That was my trailer. Because the Fiesta went in, went up, and went out into my trailer. Now, this is the other thing. You've got to think about this. If I had slammed on and stopped, okay, and let's say the accident happened in exactly the same location, for argument's sake, Fiesta would have gone up, slammed into my underarm bars, and wedged. It would have wedged. Because you've got to remember about impact, you've got to remember about the energy, the transference of the energy, that it will go in there, but this isn't moving, so it's going to go in and stop. It's going to wedge between my tyre, it's going to wedge between there. There is no forward momentum of my vehicle to bounce it back out. It goes in and bounces back out. It will wedge. So now you're going to have a car that's had a head-on, okay, wedged under my trailer. My vehicle is now in the way if people need to get out of the vehicle, if there's more than one person in it. I mean, the driver of the Zafira would have been on my trailer side. Anybody needing emergency access to get people out if there's a fire, well, I've now wedged them in. So that's the other thing you've got to think about in this situation. So by maintaining my roll, by keeping going, when the Fiesta went up and hit my trailer, it bounced, it went into my underarm bars, as you can imagine, but my tyre came forward, hit the back of it, flinged it back out, ripped the suspension clean out the bloody thing. I rolled past the accident and stopped 50 to 100 feet past it still. I think probably around 50 more than likely. Past it and stopped. So now everyone's got free access to the crashed vehicles. You can get them. People can get out of them. Fortunately, the Zafira just had the mother on board, none of her children. They were at home. And the Fiesta just had the young lady driving. No one else, none of her friends or anything like that, thankfully. And they got out in shock, as you can imagine. The car directly behind the white one, amazingly, was an off-duty paramedic. Brilliant. Perfect. Couldn't have worked out better. So now, I've got out, paramedic's got out, the off-duty one, she's come along, she's obviously dealing with the situation, and it's like, is he calling the ambulance? As in me, because obviously I'm with my vehicle walking back, I've got my phone out. Well, yes, I am about to call 999, but first of all, find out exactly where I am. Remember, I've just seen a head-on accident. Yeah, I've got out. I've seen a child seat in the back of the Zafira. Yeah, my brain is a little bit noodly at the moment. And I'm not thinking, I've just left such and such farm, I'm going to such and such farm, 3 minutes apart from each other. That narrows down where I am perfectly. I just say the names of the farms. So I've first of all gone onto Google App to clarify the name of the road. Just to make sure. So I've done that. Is he phoning the ambulance? Yeah, I'm going to. Then 999, I do the phone calls. Anyway, the police turn up and everything else. Now, I cannot speak for what was going on inside the Zafira. I cannot speak for what was going on inside the Fiesta. I don't know. I wasn't there. All I can do is tell you what I saw. That's it. Pretty much, that is it. Now, there are going to be some people who say, oh, well, you should have tried to stop, Bill, there wouldn't have been an accident. But what about the car behind? What happens if the car behind, which happened to be an off-duty paramedic, I thought, oh, we can overtake, I'll go for it. I mean, how many of you have been driving down a road, yeah, the car in front's gone to overtake a tractor or a truck or a bus, yeah, and you thought, oh, I'll follow it through. Yeah. What would have happened in that situation as you started, drop it down a gear as you start to go? if the vehicle you're about to overtake had stopped. Yeah? Sometimes, and safety people will tell you this in actual fact, it's better to let the accident happen. I know that sounds odd, but cars are designed a certain way. If a truck falls on top of a car, chances are no one's going to survive that, because they're not really designed to have a truck fall on top of them. You know? It's like Granny isn't designed to have a piano drop on top of her, you know? But they are tested vigorously, constantly. I'll just do this because it's getting a bit dark. It's getting a bit dark. They are tested constantly for head-on impacts, for side impacts, for all this kind of stuff. The framing them, 40-mile-an-hour impact into a compactable concrete block. Well, it's a 40-mile-an-hour road. Yes, the Fiesta's accelerating. I'm doing around 30. Yes, the Fiesta is accelerating. The Zafira's now seen the Fiesta, probably slammed on the brakes, I would assume. So they're slowing down. The Fiesta probably sees it at the last minute, slams on their brakes, so the impact is going to be around 40 odd miles an hour, not 80. Hopefully. Yeah? And the car is designed for that. But if I had slammed on and something had gone wrong, what would everybody be saying then? Oh, somebody died because you slammed on. You should have kept going, Bill. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like a couple of years ago, there was some footage on Idiot Drivers UK that kind of went viral. Class 2 guy, you've probably seen it. Class 2 guy's trundling down the road and this 4x4 pulls out in front of him and he swerves down the turning that the 4x4's come out of, goes behind the 4x4 and carries on. And everyone's like, oh my God, yeah, well done, Class 2 driver, amazing, you avoided the accident, brilliant, 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 brilliant. Okay, fine. Okay, perfect. What would everybody have been saying if the 4x4 had moved, the Class 2 had done that and a motorbike had rolled into shot? Or a school bus? Or a family car? Or a cyclist? Then what? Bloody stupid truck driver should have just hit the 4x4. Now somebody's died. Do you see what I'm getting at? There is always, after an incident, there is always 100 different things you could have done. There's always 100 different outcomes that could have occurred. Now, I spoke with a responding paramedic who turned up and 3 police officers, all of whom said, you did the right thing, drive. Because if I had stopped, they'd have wedged. Well, if somebody's trapped inside that car, severely injured, I mean it's a head-on accident, and they've gone under a truck, you see where I'm coming from? Well, how are they going to get them out? They've got to get to them. Now, if the fire brigade come from in front of me, well, they ain't getting past very easily. They can do it, obviously. But what happens if I have to move? That's going to cause even more carnage to the car. Obviously, I probably won't be asked to move because they'll cut them out, but they've still got to clamber across it. They've still got to get all the equipment there. There's no room. Yeah? Maintaining the momentum means they thump and bounce. They don't thump and stay. They don't get pinned. They get flung back out. Yeah? Cars are designed to fall apart. Cars are designed to break. They are quite literally designed to absorb all the impact so that the frame, the thing you sit in, protects you. Now, everything going off at once, it's luck. More than judgment, it's luck. Everyone walked away. Yeah? I'd love to sit here and go, my brain was running through hundreds of scenarios and all this kind of crap. The reality is, you see the vehicle, you realise there's going to be an accident. Maybe if they're braking, I keep going, the accident can be avoided. That's the reality of the situation. I'll put my horn on, hopefully that'll wake them up, make them, brake harder or whatever. But that's the reality of the situation. It's a quick split-second thought. When you think back over it, you've got all these, well, this could have happened, that could have happened, this could have gone, that could have gone, and so on. But again, like I said, I cannot speak for what was happening, what the driver was thinking in the Fiesta or the Zafira or anyone else. I can't speak for that. Yeah? And even if I'd have had my camera set up, which I didn't, you wouldn't have seen anything before you get all, oh, no, you wouldn't have seen anything because it happened back there. My camera faces that way. You just see the car, you'd have probably heard a, and then me go, you get stupid, Blake, you idiot. You'd have probably heard me saying something along those lines after it had all gone wrong. Yeah. But it's one of those, in all the years I've been driving Class 1, 10 years, and the time I spent in agriculture, towing tractors and trailers on the roads, I've never seen a head-on accident like that. I've never seen somebody choose to go for a gap that doesn't exist. Never seen it. I'm sure other people have seen it. Probably seen it on YouTube, but in reality, in real life, right there, right then. If anyone's curious, I didn't feel it in the cab. I saw it, but I didn't feel it. You'd think you'd have felt the impact of a Fiesta into your track. That is how well designed modern cars are to disperse, to disperse the impact, to disperse the energy. It dispersed it so well that I saw it, I heard it, but I can't remember even feeling that. And as far as I am concerned, before keyboard warriors start bouncing up and down in the comments section about how I should have done this, how I should have done that, or any of that kind of crap, everyone walked away with no significant injury. The mother in the Zafira is able to go home to her children. The young lass in the Fiesta is able to go home to her parents, to see her friends. Everyone lived. As far as I am concerned, everyone living, 3 police officers and a paramedic saying I did the right thing, that to me, that is a win column. Because there was an accident going to happen. How bad it was, maybe my actions mitigated the severity of it. Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you. It was an accident. It was dump. You can sit there and go, oh, you had all this time. But you didn't in reality. 3, 4 seconds. Maximum 4 seconds from seeing it to realising it to hitting the horn to come into a stop after it. Yeah? It seems like it took forever because your brain's like, that's not gonna happen. Your brain's like, oh, as you're seeing it going, Jesus. It feels like that when you think back on it because you're remembering all the details, everything that comes to mind. And of course, when you remember things like that, the explaining of it takes 100 times longer than the reality of living through it because you got all this detail and that detail and this happened and that happened. Do you see what I mean? So it seems like it took forever, but in reality it was Jesus Christ, bang, that's it. Yeah? Literally. And then a few choice words afterwards. But the simple fact is, luckily there was a paramedic on site. She did a fantastic job. She nailed it. They're perfectly trained. They deserve so much more credit than they get. She got to the Fiesta driver first. I got to the Zafira driver first. She dealt with the Fiesta driver. She realised that the Zafira driver was in shock. Significant shock. She dealt with her. She took charge of the scene. I was on the phone to the emergency services. It just came together. It just worked. And everyone lived. Everyone walked away. She did her job brilliantly. Police turned up, took statements. When the police turned up and they walked down there, I walked back to this cab, got my paperwork and started filling it out. Why? Because it is pointless me being in the middle of it. It is pointless me standing there going, rah, 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 rah. Absolutely pointless. It helps no one. There is a trained paramedic on scene. I am a half-assed first aider at best. What am I going to do? I did what I could initially to try and calm the Zafira driver down. I don't understand why she overtook. I can't understand. Trying to be calm and collected and, making eye contact, calm down, get your breathing, all that kind of stuff. Then the paramedic took over. The police turned up. I walked to my cab to fill in the paperwork. Get yourself out of the way. You're not trained to deal with this. They are. You're just going to add problems. When they're ready to get your statement, they will come to you. Okay, you don't have to stand there going, I want to tell you what happened. They will come to you. Go back to your cab. Don't get in it to make it look as if you're driving away, because that'll upset them. Pogo, 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 pogo. They'll come down on their pogo stick pretty quickly. Just go back, get your paperwork, put it on the floor, on a spare number plate, whatever. Put it on the floor, start filling it in, standing there. You're visual, you're not going anywhere, yeah. And then they'll come and they'll say, right, drive, got these statements, in your words, what happened? Or words to that effect. And then you just tell them. You say what you did. Be accurate, as accurate as you can. Yeah? Be as thorough as you can. Yeah? You know, was it foggy? No. Did you have a night heater on chucking out a load of smoke? No. Was it piddling down with rain? No. You know, did you see shiny colours on the floor, like there was oil on the floor? No. Everything you can kind of think of, everything you can remember. Were the lights on the oncoming vehicle? Were the lights on the vehicle overtaking you? Did you see brake lights, for example? Did you... everything. Yeah, just as clear and as transparent as possible. I've kept this relatively vague because I don't want to start... You know, it's ongoing. I don't know the real legality around all of this, so I'm just saying what I saw. Like I said, I can't speak for the drivers. I don't know what they were seeing, what they were thinking, or anything like that. Just what I saw. And I'm not going to say so-and-so did this because they were such and such, you know, all that kind of... I'm not going to go down that road. You don't know. Yeah, you really don't. You can surmise all you want. But all I did was I just told everybody exactly what happened. I was asked by 3 different police officers, yeah, what happened. I was asked by a responding paramedic, because he was curious. He was like, how the hell did this happen? I'm just curious. What happened, drive? Because by this point in time, Zafira driver was in the back of the ambulance being administered to, because she was, you know, obviously in shock. And the other driver, her parent and father had turned up. And so there was all that going on. And this paramedic was just, he just walked up to me and he said, drive. I'm curious, what happened? And I explained the situation. I said, you know, I put my hand on my horn, I backed off, brake, I think. And after the impact, I rolled past it so everyone could get access to the vehicles. You know, I saw the impact, but I kept going, so it was clear. I got clear. And he just looked at me and went, drive, you did exactly the right thing. So I was happy with that one. But yeah, it was an interesting beginning to my week. A very interesting beginning to my week. So yeah, there you go. That's the story. That's everything I can tell you. But like I said, I'm not going to go down the whole, oh, this was doing that and that was doing this and there's a reason for this. I'm not going to go down there. That's pointless. You can think it all you want, but it is what it is. You know, it's... There's what, 27 million vehicles in this country. They're going to hit one another every so often. It's law of averages. Now, did they not see the vehicle? Did they think they could force their way through? Did they think there was more time? Did they think their car was a Lamborghini, not a Fiesta? I don't know. I don't have a clue. Yeah, all I know is what I saw. So there you go. And always remember, if you're in those kind of situations, think about what's going to happen. Because if you stop and they wedge, you've just created a whole world of problems that didn't need to be there, because cars are designed to just fall apart. But anyway, there you go. I think that's going to be enough for this upload. I'll keep it short and sweet. I mean, short and sweet, this is what, half hour? But anyway, thanks for watching. like, subscribe, share about, do whatever it is you usually do. Obviously I can't top what I've been talking about for the rest of the day, so I'm not going to try. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.